During the summer, the Oregon Regency Society hosted a picnic at the famous Pittock mansion in Portland, Oregon. Their welcoming policy stated that costumes were admired but not required. However, being the person that I am, of course I had to make a costume for the event as well as 2 more dresses so that my wife and our roommate could sport the era's fashion with me. Because I procrastinated, this led to a flight of the Bumblebee sewing marathon in order to make 3 Regency walking dresses in just 2 weeks. I decided to work with McCall's sewing pattern M7493 for all 3 dresses, which I must note did not span a large enough size range, so I had to do some alterations on the pattern to fit women with larger chest sizes. But pattern sizing is a whole other rant, perhaps for another video. I'm mostly going to be addressing key points and problem areas of constructing these dresses. The red one was quite straightforward and just made of red cotton fabric, so we won't really go over that one, but feel free to ask me any questions about it in the comments.
How to summon a cat. Bring out all your sewing supplies. I put the pattern on top of the Regency stays that we ordered. This still didn't actually fit. We needed an extra 2 inches on each side, totaling 4 inches. So this is why you always do a mock-up. What I did was I decided to do a mock-up with the lining because it's just cotton, and because it's a bed sheet, you know, and if it turned out working okay, great, we moved on using the thing. But hello, Baz. But yeah, since it didn't, instead took my notes on it, and I'm now going to make a whole new pattern based off of this. Basically an adjustment from this. Yes.
Here I am upsizing the pattern by 1 more size for my wife's blue dress. Usually each size up is an additional 1/4 inch. Sadly, due to the upsizing of the blue dress, I underestimated how much extra material I would need for the skirt of the dress. A trip back to the fabric store was inevitable. So onward to constructing my dress. My friend Faye helped me find this gorgeous hand-block printed linen on Etsy. As you can see, it is very sheer, so I would need to line it with white linen.
I have cut out all of the white linen pieces that would be my lining and the basically backing to that stuff. And now it's time to actually cut my fabric that I bought, that I can't just go to Joann's and get more if I don't have enough. So, and I'm a little scared. I'm a little worried I might screw up, and there's no fixing that. I'm out of time. I can't just like go back to Etsy and wait for more yardage to show up. That's just not possible. So here we go.
Besides the classic white linen dress, calico fabrics became quite popular during the Regency era. The Met Art Museum's website on fabric printing explains that, quote, the development of using copper rollers gave manufacturers the ability to print larger quantities of calico fabrics at greater speeds for lower prices, and the production of printed cotton increased dramatically in the 19th century.
We did it! I think we even had a 1/4 of a yard left over. Day 2 of the sewing marathon. We have everything cut out. Yes. I was going to get dressed fully for filming all this, and I'm like, no, it's Sunday. No. PJs are just fine. And I'm going to stay in these PJs. So
I made the decision to sew each underlining piece to the printed fabric pieces individually before construction. The other way to do this would be to sew the printed fabric and the lining as 2 separate dresses and then sew them together. I've done construction that way before in the past and things didn't quite line up very well. This time I didn't want to take any chances of misalignment. One tip my mother passed on to me when I first started sewing was to always prep at least 5 bobbins before you start the project. It's definitely a time saver hack that I continue to use. The empire waist silhouette dates as far back as the Greco-Roman period, when women wore tunics with high belts under their bust. But the term empire waistline didn't come about until its first revival during Napoleon's French Empire. It was at this time that the empire cut became extremely popular, especially through the influence of Empress Josephine, who was frequently seen wearing this type of dress. The puffed sleeves were absolutely my favorite part of this dress. They were just so cute. Also, after the amount of gathering I had to do with all three dresses, my gathering skills definitely leveled up. One last fitting before the buttons. In my opinion, the dresses definitely needed sashes. The pattern didn't come with a sash, but sashes are really easy to eyeball. I just used the wide hem of this white sheet for the blue dress, and to give it a little more character, I cut out a piece from a thrifted lace duvet and used it as an applique. I have been procrastinating all morning, and it's because I'm afraid to do the buttonholes on the dresses. I'm really afraid I'm going to misalign these, screw these up. I have never used my automatic buttonholer on this machine before, but I would still call this a success. I didn't know how big the button actually was, and so I just did a marking. But it started, it finished. I'm pretty happy with it, so yay. I feel so spoiled having one of these on my machine. It's an automatic buttonholer. I just take whatever button I'm going to use, slip it in here, get it all cozy. Any of these awesome designs. I think number 4 looks the most like a Regency buttonhole, so we're going to go with that. I need to do this and hem and do all the hand sewing, and I still need to make petticoats, and technically we also need chemise, but we might end up skipping that for this event and just wearing probably low-cut cotton t-shirts underneath to protect our other underpinnings and the dresses. It's probably how we're going to get away with it this time, but using thrifted bed dust ruffles for the petticoats was a huge time saver. I just reused the skirt part of the dress pattern and added cross straps as shown in this photo. However, next time I will just do parallel straps instead of crossing straps because my petticoat strap kept peeking out from the back of my dress. If you have a Regency event and need a pattern recommendation, I can definitely recommend this one as a quick and easy dress to make. I love how my dress fits, and the fabric is so soft, light, and comfortable. I want to make more for everyday wear when the weather gets unbearably warm.
The grass is a little wet and soaking through the blanket, but I have an idea. I think I'm going to use my petticoats. It's drying around. Now I won't have a wet spot on my butt.
Next video, I'll take you for a tour inside the Pittock mansion. Happy crafting and adventures to you, my friends. Don't forget to subscribe to stay up to date with my content.